Hi, this is Paige at True Physical Therapy. I'm here with Chris, and Chris is going to demonstrate the toe touch progression exercise. We do this exercise for a lot of different reasons. What it is meant for is it's both a mobility drill, working on range of motion, as well as the stability drill, making sure that movement is coming from appropriate joints and the body is able to stabilize and move appropriately through that motion. So to begin, we'll have Chris here start with his toes up on this half foam roll here. Already what this does is give a nice stretch to what we call the posterior chain, meaning the back half of his body, calves, a little bit of hamstring here. Then we're going to have him take this towel roll, place it between his knees, and give a good firm squeeze to it. By activating the adductors, this inner group of thigh muscles, it helps to kind of shut off some of your hamstring right through here, and you'll see why that's important in just a second. He's going to then raise his arms overhead, keeping his core engaged so he's not getting a lot of arch through his back. And what we want to see from this point is him hinging through his hips, meaning he's pushing his hips back towards the wall, keeping a nice, flat, neutral spine here. At this point, this is where we want those hamstrings to turn off, because he is getting a ton of stretch throughout his entire back half of his body, that posterior chain. Then, kind of to address from the hips up, we let him to go ahead and round through the motion. Now at this point, he's getting even more hamstring calf stretch, but he's also getting some stretch through this low back lumbar spine here. We really want to make sure that that's a nice, pretty rounded curve, that he's not hinging anywhere. It doesn't look like a tabletop and then it kind of dips off. He's going to hang out there for a good 5 seconds or so, probably longer than that now. He's going to come back up to a flat, neutral spine there, squeeze his glutes, and return to standing. Nice there. So that's the heels or the toes up portion of it. A lot of times people who think they're really tight through the hamstring area just aren't using their motion properly. They're using too much pelvis motion, and this, by having him push those hips back, really make sure that he's not getting some kind of tilt where the low back is compensating. It's really getting the motion from the hamstrings and calves. So next, that's more of the mobility part, stability. He's going to switch and do the same exact motion, but with his heels up. Okay. So this is retraining as far as form for lots of activities such as sit to stand, where we don't get this good kind of weight shift of our hips backwards. If he doesn't weight shift and push his hips back with this exercise, he's going to end up falling forward. So it really just kind of retrains the body and kicks in the correct muscles that the body needs to stabilize that motion. So same idea, arms overhead. See how he hinges back, which is great. And then he goes ahead and round there. And then you can relax. We'll have patients go through several reps, both toes up and heels up. And what we like to see after that is a little test, retest. So they're further their motion. Can they bend farther forward now that they're using proper form and then they've got good dynamic stretch through that posterior chain? Do they have more motion? And this has been an exercise that has been shown time and time again to really create that for patients.